I am told there's something they are doing for that. I know we flashed through NSSF, Bwana Karaoke, because the accountant has their internal auditor. Take your 5 minutes just to refresh and to tell us, and because the accountants were not there as we set up there, so that flash through without much detail, because we went through on Tier 1, Tier 2, NSSF, and the rest, so that then we can bring on board the accountants who are not there then as we sort out that. Karibuni, Miriam.
So, thank you, FO. What I'm going to do is a small recap. In the meantime, as they prepare the screen for the other presenter, and this is about the NSSF Act 2013. The laws in Kenya continue changing each and every time. And when they change, the church is there to change with the law. And so I'm just going to present just one tenet or two about the NSSF that really concerns the accountants here, because yesterday we did on the policy side of the NSSF, and if those who are presenting, those who are in the IT room can give me that presentation. And I'm going to concentrate on one model, a model of contribution. So we can go ahead. We have 3 models that are in this presentation. That is the NSSF contribution model. And then there is the contracting out and the board resolution. Now, the 2 models, the contracting out and the board resolution, that's not so much concerns the accountant, and to the phase that concerns us as the accountant. You can go to number 4 as we go. Now, in the NSSF 2013, the pension scheme was changed. Initially, we had NSSF as a provident fund, but it was changed to be a pension fund. And in this, we have 2 types of contribution. We have Tier 1 contribution and Tier 2 contribution. Tier 1 contribution is the contribution that is normally given. And I want to take you a little bit faster when we come. Give me slide number 8. We have these 2 models of contribution, and we have the old NSSF Act. Slide number 8, please. The old NSSF and the new NSSF. There are changes that came with the NSSF itself. And we are told, initially NSSF was a provident fund, but it was changed to be a pension fund. A pension fund, that means any worker who is employed in this country has to receive pension at the end of their productive year. So, what is a pension? A pension is the money that you're given every month till the end of your life. And that is why you will never go to the NSSF and receive the 300 or 400 that you were receiving initially. The IT people, give me number 8. So you'll never go and receive that ransom money. What was the core argument? They said, in the world today, if you give a person ransom, it does not last them 3 years. That is worldwide, the research that was done. And so they changed the model from a provident fund to a pension fund. And I want to take you to the computation, how the computation of the pension fund is done. Number 8. So, this is the way it is done. In the payslip that you prepare, there is a figure you use of 1080. Can you remember that? There is a figure of 1080. And the figure of 1080, I want to show you how the 1080 came about. There is what we call the national average income, or the national average earning. The national average earning is all the monies, all the earnings of Kenyans divided by the number of people who are working in Kenya. If the IT, you can give me whatever, script number 13, I will be able to give a better illustration. Now, in the year 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, those were the figures. The total salary, your salary when it is combined, at the end of the day was adding to that. And so, in year 2012, the figure of total private and public scheme was 432,802. Divide that by 12. I want you to do your figure, people. 432,802 divided by 12. How much is that? 36,000 and a few coins on top. So they used the figure of 36,000. Now, to calculate the 1080, in 2013 they said you use 50% of the national average income. If you can give me number 11. This is what ideally they said. The 36,000, now in year 1, 2013, we were to use 50% of the national average income. So the national average income was 36,000. 50% of 36,000 is 18,000. Now, the contribution is pegged on 6% of the 50% of the national average income. So what is 6% of 18,000? It is 1080. That is how you arrive at the figure of 1080 that you have there, that is the contribution to the NSSF. Now, the NSSF Act was never used between 2013 and 2022 because of the court cases. In 2022, that is last year in February, the implementation started. And when it started, we used the figure of 1080 to do the computation to forward to the NSSF. Now, year 2, according to the figure that we have, year 2 you don't use the national, you don't use 50% of the national average income. You use the full figure of the national average income. That is, you use the whole. Now, when you are calculating today is that the 7,000 that we have is an increment from 6,000 to 7,000. Now, 6% of 7,000 is how much? 420. Is it? Now, how much remains? 36,000 minus 7,000 that you have already computed, it remains a figure of 29,000. Sindio? Now, the figure we are using of NSSF today is 6% of the 29,000. 6% of the 29,000, how much is it? 1740, yeah? Is it? 1740. So 1740 plus 420, that becomes 2160. So for the whole of this year, we will use 2160 for the NSSF. Now, that is both tier 1 and tier 2. And that is the contribution that a person will do. The employer will double that. So, what is tier 1 then and tier 2? This is, I'm finishing my presentation. If we can get to number 15. Number 15, we put number 15 in the screen. This is the figure that will be there. Now, in the year 1, you have seen the 1080. In year 2, we have 2160. Now, in the year 3, that is next year, we shall not use 2160, we shall use 4320. And in the following year, we shall use 6,000. So the amount continue progressively, and this is why you should be prepared and you should be ready to do that. And so I just wanted to show you or to clarify to you how, if you look at my figure where I have the tier 1, the tier 1 is the amount that goes directly to the NSSF. The tier 2 amount is the amount that can go to another person to invest. That is what is called contracting out, but I explained the contracting out to the treasurers yesterday. They know and they understand, and they will help. And so for now, I just wanted FO to explain how you compute and how you are alive to that figure, so that you'll not be just having figures and figures. However, underline this somewhere or write this somewhere. The national average income that we are using is for 2013 and not for 2024. So if we use the figure for 2024, we go to the number 16 in the screen. We can put on the screen number 16, and you see in 2024 what will be the figure. The current national average income, you can do your division, 842,872 divided by 12. That is how much? 842,872 divided by 12. That's 72,000 and some few hundreds, yeah? So the current national average income is actually 72,000. And if the government decides today to use the current national average income, now the NSSF will change, because the 6% of the national average income as we have, that will be 6% of 72,000, which will come to a figure of 43. You see, so that will be the figure for one person, one contributor, and then the employer will do the doubling. So if we use the current national average income, that is the figure that we'll get. But in January, they gazetted that we shall still continue using the national average income for 2013. Thank you, FO.
Thank you for reminding us, CPA Kariuki. Thank you so much for that. We want, in the interest of time now, to invite the team from Millennium so that they can take us through the ERP, and then from there we shall now link up and cram and consolidate the other presentations that we have. Karibu Kipto.
Bwana asifiwe. Thank you, Bwana Efo. Thank you again for giving us this chance to present this ERP system to now the accountants. This is now where the rubber meets the road. Sindio? So before I do that, I want to introduce my team so that you can know them maybe by their faces. Maybe they won't be talking much, they'll be doing much of the hearing today. And also handling some technical questions, if any. So maybe I can, if you can just come say your name so that, just all of you, just come.
Good afternoon, everyone. Bwana asifiwe. My name is Barton Makelo. I'm in charge of the team.
Good afternoon. My name is Pikoti Jemutai. I'm part of the team.
Good afternoon. My name is Hilary Kisera. I'm part of Millennium team.
Praise God. I'm Wanjiko Masharia in Millennium.
Sawa, thank you. There is another person up there, the technical, who is called Teddy Moronga. He's also part of the team. So my name is Clinton Kipto. I am a software developer with Millennium Solutions East Africa. We deploy ERP solutions and finance applications, and also some custom softwares according to what you want. We are here because you were contracted by Pcea to do a financial system, but also an integrated ERP system. So today I want us to, I'll present I'll call it the cream for you just to get the flow, and also us and to understand how this ERP will revolutionize the accountability and also decision making within the Pcea church. So Teddy, if you can now take us the first slide. So an ERP first means an enterprise resource planning. This is a software that integrates all other parts, including workflows. If they are also, it brings together, if it's the sales, if it's the purchases, if it's the procurement, property management, medical, insurance, and pension, and also manufacturing. So these are the parts of the, on the screen, these are the sub-modules of the ERP system. So this ERP system integrates all of this into one financial system, so which we are going to see today. So what happens, the core module here is the finance module, which now fetches the finance data from each. Manufacturing has its own processes and workflows, same as medical, same to pension, human resource, procurement, and the accounting portal also. So these all has different workflows and procedures, but the main core module here is the finance, which is now which houses all these other. So how to get into this system? It will be a URL. So if I say a URL, it means this will be a web application. A web application means you can access it from anywhere, at the comfort of your home, office, anywhere. Just as long as you have internet, you have good internet connectivity. It will be also having a secure password and a username, which you will use to access this system. Because now, if it's something public, you'll want to regulate the amount of access and also amount of permissions granted to a particular user. So you'll be able to access this via a dedicated URL, which will be provided. It will be one URL, and also you'll be provided with a username and a password specifically for your own role. Example, if I'm a presbytery accountant, what I'll be able to see is not what the accountant at the head office will be able to see. It's not what the person at the pension desk will be able to see. So the dashboard will be customized to your own dashboard, so that if I log in, I'll just see my invoices, I'll see my receipts, I'll see my payments, everything which revolves around my presbytery. Now, As I said, these are different sections, these are different sub-modules. So maybe we start with the property management. The property management is, this system will help now input, or it will help in data management. It will be a database for the all property which Pcea or the presbytery has. Teddy, if you can take me to the property management portal, if you see, if you click there, it will ask you for a login. So we'll just use a test login and a test password for today. And also, if you can see, we'll be waiting a bit because this is a live system. We are not presenting a PowerPoint presentation, but it's something we have already deployed and it's working. So we'll use a test login for the property. Yes, even test property holder. So this will be provided specifically for you, and also there will be instructions on how to reset and how to request for new password when it expires. Upon logging in, there's the dashboard. There's the property registration, tenancy management, project management, and transaction management. Property registration will be, you'll be able to register all the lands, all the assets, other assets like even buildings and vehicles. So go to property registration. We just see the overview of which we are not going to go in depth, but go to registrations. So that's the dashboard. At the top part, there is the Pcea logo. Then bottom, after the Pcea logo, there is the main menu, which has the property, transactions, tenancy, and reports. This will be the dashboard which the property holder of a presbytery will be having. We have called it a property holder because that's the dashboard. So here we'll be able to see all the properties registered to a particular presbytery. So if I click, say even land, so we are doing, you can do either land, commercial, residential building, or a motor vehicle. If I do a land, just click on new registration. It will ask for specific details, which are, so it will go down from property details, then location, ownership, development, valuation, documents, and property images. There were some changes that were suggested also by the foundation, yeah, which we are still, others have been implemented here. Maybe you won't even notice, but others are still under development. But this system is ready and live to go. So if just proceed to, we see an overview of one, down, so at the landing page, you'll have an explanation on how to use the system. So the first page will explain to you how the navigations, what you do, what is mandatory and what is optional. So if you take down there, say, I certify there, and now submit and continue, it will take you to the first page where you'll have the property details. So if it's a land, it will ask you for the LR number, the size, the registered owner, the rent, date, land, if it's acquisition type, if it's government allocation, or is it a normal sale, it will ask you for all those. These details were suggested by the foundation, and most of them I know it will fit the needs. So from details, documents, all those, most are mandatory documents, and most of them will actually be uploads. If you see the documents, evaluation, and development, it will have attachments like land, what? Title. What else do you attach when buying a land? Sale agreements. There are minutes also. Are there minutes? Yeah, minutes, LR number. So all those will be you'll be able to upload into the system. Also images. If there are developments also in the property, say example a clinic, a health center, a nursery school, whatever, all those you'll be able to capture them here under the property development. And also this system you can upload as much as you can. You can add as many as you can. That is the beauty of it. And it will be tied to a particular presbytery. If you realize when we logged in, it was having a dashboard saying this is a test property holder for a particular presbytery. Yeah, so all properties will be linked there. So let's go to another one, which is tenancy management. This was just registration. So tenancy management, you'll be able here to onboard your tenants if you have property which you are renting out for lease, you'll be able to import agents. If there are agents managing the property on your behalf, you'll be able also to onboard them. Units, these are units within the property which you have leased out. So example, like this is just a test. This is just a test. Maybe we go to one, say a lease or tenants. If you go to tenants, so these tenants are preloaded already. They are preloaded into the ERP system already. So when you go there, you just update the lease details. If it's an expired lease, if you want to renew or you want to cancel, all those transactions will be here. So those are like agents. If you go to tenants, you also find tenants of your particular presbytery. Click on tenants. I hope everyone can see. I've assumed that. Is it visible? Oh, sorry. I think I'm using a more clear one here. Yeah. Maybe you can zoom a bit, Teddy. Zoom in. Yeah, so I'll do much of the talking so that we accommodate those people pia wenye wako na shida kidogo. So like these ones now, these ones are tenants which have been onboarded by this property holder. So scroll to the left. There are some buttons at the left where you can manage this. You can either edit, so go to my leases. So here you'll be able to do now the leases, a particular example. You have a tenant who has taken maybe 2 or 3 units in your particular a particular property. Here you'll be able to bill them. They'll be able to see their balances also. The clients or the tenants have their own dashboard for seeing their balances and also seeing their invoices, seeing communications made by the test property holder, seeing also transactions. They also have a portal for doing requisitions in terms of repairs and maintenance. So if you go to repairs and maintenance, just zoom in to the normal size. Yeah. If you go to repairs and maintenance, they'll have a dashboard where they can raise a repair or a requisition. Say there is a broken window in the unit where the tenant is. He or she can raise the requisition through the portal still. And the property holder, who is now the presbytery, will be able to see this was raised when. And if it's something which needs to go to the procurement, they can still update status by saying, this is resolved, this is pending, this is moved to procurement. Example, if it's something like a paint job where the procurement needs to be done, the property holder will just push the incident to procurement, to go through the full procurement process also. So after tenancy and the transactions and properties, there is also announcements. Announcements is now here where if the property holder means, okay, so I'm using the property holder means here the presbytery, yeah? Yeah, it means the presbytery or someone who is in charge of those property, means that there is a communication which needs to be passed to the tenants or needs to be passed to the agents or need to be passed to everyone. You'll go to announcements there and just add a new announcement and click save. If I save it, I'll get a notification that there is something which has been posted at the property portal which needs my urgent attention, either to see or to view it. So those are some of the announcements which have been made in this test environment. So that is now the property in a high level view. There are some more nitty-gritties which I don't want to go through because it will take a whole week here going through this system. So next one, which I want to go, is the manufacturing. So this system also integrates the manufacturing. done by the Pcea, whether it's production of books, which is done at the head office, whether it's production of uniforms, whether it's production of any merchandise which Pcea is involved in it, it will also be captured in the system. The entire process, the entire costings, the entire workflows, and the entire reports will be captured here also. So if you just log into manufacturing, you realize on the dashboard, you'll have specific, we call them queues. I'll explain what queues means. These are a snapshot, a view of the system. For example, if I log in and see there are 3 pending orders, like the ones we saw in the property management portal, where I'm seeing the rent balance for my total customers is 3.7 million. Those are what we are calling queues. So you'll be able to see in a high level at the snapshot view and also make a conclusion based on what you see. So maybe switch to manufacturing so that we can see. So if you realize this system has changed a bit, but it's still one. This means this is now the core finance system which we'll be using to do submission of either invoices, reports, receipts, and everything. But for manufacturing, if you log in the manufacturing bit, the first dashboard you'll see is about production orders, items, services, and materials. All these are also, they need to be pre-set up. Pre-set up means if this bottle needs production of this, you want to produce this bottle, I'll need to set up that it needs branding, I'll need sealing, I'll need also the water inside. So I'll need to pre-set up so that next time I'm coming to produce 1,000 of these, I'll just come and say produce the same quantity of this, but the number this time is 1,000. If I come also 10 years later and I want to produce the same, I'll say produce this, but 500 for this time. So, so you see, there is production orders, finished orders, pending items, item received. This happens, so there is a setup for every module. What I mean by this is that before you start using the system, there is specific setups which you have left it open-ended. Example, things like costings. Costings for this might change over time. So that's why if I say I need branding, you can change the cost of branding today. It can be tomorrow, it might have raised. Tomorrow, the other day might have gone down. So that's what I mean by setups. So this will have to be pre-set up before you start using the system. And we'll still agree on how and when and the levels of approvals which also needs for this to be done. So there is production setup which has now papers for head office and other units producing papers. There is services, which means these are some things like branding, cutting, binding, stitching, sewing. Those are services. Then there is also covers, which are specifically for the production of books. Then, now, if you go to production orders, approvals there. So these ones, before any production, the request was that someone has to do something like a quotation first. This is to give an insight of how much this production will cost. Example, we are producing this 1,000 bottles. For us to sell these 1,000 bottles of water, we need to know the cost and approximate if the materials we're having in store will be enough to produce this 1,000 bottles of water. If not, then it will move now to item request. This item request means that we'll now do a procurement, a whole procurement process to procure either bottles or if it's papers for branding for these, which are not in the store. Then, after this item request has been procured and it has arrived at the store, the procurement person now releases the items to the production department, where they also receive items and now start production. So after starting production, the production now they can monitor from the dashboard from ongoing, the one which has been put on hold, finished production orders. After it has finished the production, the person doing production at the production center can now post and update the stock that we have produced 1,000 bottles of water and now we need to adjust our items that we now in the store we have 1,000 bottles of bottled water. Now that is now when other requisitions can start. Even if you are selling to another external customer, that's now you now do requisition from the store. So that is high level also overview for manufacturing. Yes, sir.
Bwana asifiwe. Ninaona vile mnasema kwa mtandao. Mnasema amuelewi ERP ni nini. So maybe you begin there. What is the ERP as you go to the other module? The enterprise resource planning is a system that is helping to do every simple thing that you do in the operations that you do. I know you are specialist in financial systems. Hiyo mtaona. In the General Assembly, kuna production. Watoto wana produce this uniform ya brigade. Kuna uniforms za guild. Kuna vitambaa, kuna badges, kuna vitabu. These are manufacturing. They are well taken up. Out of all this manufacturing, kuna stores whereby these materials are purchased and put in the store. So the system is helping, telling you, once the materials are put in place, manufacturing systems, engineers are set. When you start producing, it is telling you, we will be short of this number of materials. You require reams of paper. These are missing. The store has this. You require 5 more. Automatically, the system pushes the procurement to start procuring. By the time it goes to the production, you have the materials now ready. And if that book is to be produced, it is ready. If there's that uniform the brigades are producing, it is ready because the materials are there. So in all round, the system keeps you on toes to tell you what you require at every stage. And the procurement process are followed, approval followed systematically, stores management and the store controls are well done. That is sets for those who produce. If you produce things, water bottles at your presbytery, use this system, you set your manufacturing, you set this bottle cost this costs 5 shillings, this is cost this, then the water itself, you'll be able to cost. So anytime you say 5 cartons, automatically it says what the cost pushes to the financial system. So by the time you do your P&L, every cost you can see it there. When we all shall do that and be in one platform, at the end of the day we shall say, what is the business of Pcea? It will now combine all that in the General Assembly and give us a consolidated financial statement. Having looked at all, when we have the HR, because he is going to do it, HR, for example, the pay slip issues has been a problem. We keep you telling us, tuambie mshahara yu mchungaji ni ngapi. It is going to be a thing of the past. The whole financial, the salary review, right back to 1997, na huko. That whole salary scale has been integrated in this system. So that mchungaji, agikuja tu nataka kujua year ordination, qualifications, progressive development, and automatically the system gives you his basic salary. When the minister transfers from this presbytery to another presbytery, just the office of the DSG just transfers. They wake up in the morning in January, your payroll has popped up in terms of his pay slip. You don't need to do anything. You run your payroll. This is what we are trying to achieve. So I wanted to do that clarification so that as you go on, msifurut. Asante.
Sawa. Yeah. If there is any other concern, please raise it so that we address as we go on. Ndio kila mtu ndio tuelewe what is the purpose and what is actually the goal of this integrated system, which is the ERP. Yeah, so that was manufacturing. And now, I don't know which one we see next, but we can see the medical. Let's see the medical. So this medical also, from the head office desk, they normally invoice the presbytery so that you can remit the contributions. So what will be happening is that there will be a portal also for all presbyteries to remit their medical, the medicals, and also to view the claims, to view the, now because this will also aid in the decision making, the reports which are generated here on what to insure and what not to insure. Also you'll have a portal as a staff to see all the claims you have made, and also all the transactions which has been made on your account. If you log in and go, we'll still see the staff portal where everything will be revolving around me. Right now, we are saying it revolves around the presbytery, but we'll still see a staff portal where you'll be able to do many things, starting from the payslip, claims, to do leave requests, to do purchase requisitions, stores requisitions, many, and transfers also, and to see also your academic documents and qualifications. All will be at the self-service or the staff portal. But for now, let's see the medical. So the medical has medical sales and medical reports, which also has, so if this is a portal where it will help the Pcea to also pull reports and know, go in deep to know what claims were done and who did them, when, who was the patient, which dependent, and also which hospital are people frequenting. So it has the same, this will be for the medical team, where they will be able to import invoices for all presbyteries and also invoice their customers, which are the staff, and also do bulk importation of claims from the medical provider, and also do batch processing of payments. So that is a snapshot view, and also it will aid them in seeing the balances they have with the medical provider and or the holder of the policy, and you as the insured. And also, so here you'll be able to see, and also you can, I don't know if it will be allowable, but we'll still see, you can be able to see and the principals and dependents. Example, click one, okay, we don't want to display, this is a live system, we don't want to do anything about data here, but most data actually have been put, this is a live system also. So if you go and click on one person, you can be able to view the dependents and the history also of the medical history and frequency of visiting the hospital also as given here. So that's it for medical. And let's go now to pension. Pension is just the same as medical. The pension department will be able to batch invoice the presbyteries. The presbyteries remit the money they have banked, and they will also be doing a batch payments and mass receipting. So at your portal, at the accountant portal, you'll be able to do now, there'll be a button for either you are remitting for medical or you do a receipt for pension. So if you do a receipt for pension, you just input the amount of money you have banked. Say I've banked 100,000, and then you attach the banking slip to the receipt. Once you submit, it will now, from the head office desk, they'll be able to see, or the person managing now your pension scheme will be able to see the transaction at the bank vis-a-vis the receipt that you have just said you posted. So when it's approved, it's now posted, and it affects the accounts for the presbytery. Yeah, and it also affects the account of the customers in that presbytery who are the employees. Yeah, so that's basically the snapshot view also of a pension medical scheme. Now, I think which one have we left out? HR. So if you now go to HR, so just navigate to HR. So HR, this human resource portal will be able also to now manage the employees of a particular, for your case, say, presbytery, and also head office, any. So this will include both clergy and non-clergy. Clergy and non-clergy will have different salary scales according to the matrix that we were given. So each has own calculation, and that already has been done in the system. In case of transfers also, there will be, so transfers from wherever it will be happening, it will be done through the system this time. Also there will be a letter that will be downloaded from the system. So there is a lot which will go on, or we'll have still an in-depth training with the person doing that. But for an overview of you, there is an employee management portal where all academic qualifications of a particular person will be embedded. This is a database that holds all of the employees' data for Pcea, whether clergy or non-clergy. It will have also history from the date or time the person joined, up to what position or capacity is in or right now. So there'll be from recruitment for recruitment all the way to separation. So if there is recruitment, there is appraisal, there is disciplinary also, and there is separation. Yeah. So all those are captured in the system. So the first, and this is by the matrix given to us by Pcea. So, and under the employee management, you'll be able, under your staff portal, when you log in, when the HR and the person running this at the back end updates the data, or the presbyter updates the data, you as an employee, you will be able to see that from the staff portal. If I log in and see my qualifications or my academic or my history, or also if there are any disciplinary cases, also you'll be able to see my disciplinary cases there, my appraisal, my payslip, yeah, and all, anything which is tied to my. So it will be under the staff portal. So that is an overview. This dashboard you are seeing will be for the HR, where you'll be able to see the active employees, inactive employees, terminated employees, clergy, non-clergy, and also their details. And he or she will also be able to run the salary scales, the periods, the leaves, and also the payroll in entire. And pull reports also, and all formats of reports, including even P9s, KRS, all those will be done under the HR module. But for you, you'll be doing under the sales service portal, where you can able to see specifically your transactions only, which are tied to you, or if you're the presbytery accountant, tied to the presbytery. Yeah. So the last one is the finance now, the finance module. So this finance module is now the core of the whole system. So we have not seen procurement, but procurement is more tied to finance. So maybe I just combine them both. So what happens in the procurement department is that a requisition is made from the departments. Any department under now the Pcea makes a requisition. There'll be a designated person or the head of department who will make now approvals for these purchase requisitions to be converted now and go to the procurement desk. Before it is approved to go to procurement, it will go now through the department approvals first. After it does now be approved by the department, it now goes to the procurement desk. From the procurement desk, it will now start the full procurement process, either direct procurement or indirect procurement. Direct procurement will have the procurement officer single sourcing a specific supplier and giving him or her the tender to supply the items. Indirect procurement or request for quotations will have the procurement officer send or select a particular number of suppliers for a certain or qualified category. Then send them request for quotations. They send a request for quotations, and then the whole entire request for quotation, it goes to review stage, it goes to max awarding stage. After max awarding stage, the system automatically picks the highest bidder with the highest max. Yeah, so, and then awards that tender to the highest bidder who had the highest marks according to how many reviewers. You can even have 10 reviewers reviewing the same supplier for different. So it will analyze and get the average and award the bid to the highest bidder. After that, now the LPO generation process begins, and the LPO is issued to the supplier. The supplier supplies the items. Then upon supplying, the procurement officer issues the invoice and also receives the item to a particular store where it is designated to go. So as you can see, it has requisitions, it has RFQs, it has purchasing. Purchasing also, this is will be a portal to now manage all your suppliers. You can see the supplier balances, trial balances, and also aging, the statements. All those will be under will be under the purchasing. You'll be able to also to see the posted invoices, sales invoices, purchase invoices, but for purchasing, you'll get purchase invoices which are posted, and you can also see the ledger entries of the posted purchases in the purchasing portal. If you go to sales, there is a portal for sales which is already live at the Pcea shop. When you go now to get some items, they're using this system. So the sales bit is where that now happens. They have a POS there, they normally sell items. But in terms of departmental invoicing, they also do the invoicing for items you have taken, say, on credit, will be done also under the sales module. And then invoices are posted. It affects the accounts, and you can also able to pull statements, balances, and all ledger entries related to a particular sale. Yeah, there is also a vendor portal where you can manage all the vendors in this system as suppliers and customers in the purchasing bit. Yeah, I think that is all now for the... Every portal has a self-service. Even if you log in with their own credentials, it must have a self-service where you'll be getting now either the requisitions, which I have done personally, the ones I have submitted. You can see the status also there. So the finance bit, I'll just go in a snapshot view. I say we just see what it looks like. But the finance has the accounting, it has the business, and so this is now where the central chart of accounts will be domiciled. All the ledger entries and all the postings will be affecting the ones we have done in particular, say medical, property, in the human resource, in the pension, in the medical, and all the other modules will be posting at the central chart of accounts, which will now be here. The head office can still pull data for any presbytery. Those are just, but for a specific presbytery, they'll be having their own records only. The reports you'll be pulling will be particularly for the presbytery. But from the head office, they'll be able to have those as filters. I want to pull for this presbytery and see this and this. So all reports for all finance will now be posted in the core finance module. Yeah, which is that one, which has now the business, accounting, contacts, and sales portal. So the business has revenue and purchase, and the accounting has accounts, bank accounts, reconciliations, reports, advanced financial statement, and all transactions also. So these can still be filtered and narrowed down into a particular presbytery, to a particular transaction, to a particular user. Yeah, and the contacts mean suppliers and customers, and there is also the MMF reports which will be generated by the system. The self-service portal is there for everyone, whether it's the head office or the presbytery. Yeah, that is the high level. So if there is a question, I don't know if we will take. Yeah, maybe, okay. So someone will help me give the mic so that we can have those questions. And
thank you so much. That was a very well elaborate presentation. I'm actually very proud of you. I like when young men can be able to come here and articulate their presentations just like you did. So keep up. I think there's a very great future for you ahead. And using your own words, you said that this is where the rubber meets the road, right? So can we go for a road test?
we can.
All right. So the first one is, you said that the users, let's say from the presbytery level, the other presbyteries will not be able to see what one presbytery user is doing, right? So my question is this. Does this system, and I think it's a very good system that you just took us through, does it have one admin user, let's say that he's in the HO, that has exclusive rights to be able to see what everyone else is doing? That's the first question. The second one is, and I'm asking this because I'm in the medicine field, from the medical module, can those people who are accessing that, can they be able to access medical records for the people or for the members that are involved there? Because medical records are very confidential. So you don't want to have someone who will be able to be accessing medical records for the members, because that's very highly confidential and privatized. And the last question is actually to the FO, because I see how passionate you are about this, even the way you had to stop the presentation midway to be able to just make sure that we are understanding this. So the question is how do you plan to roll it out? And more specifically, what I mean is this: do you plan to roll it out up to the presbytery levels, or you want to come down to the parish levels and maybe to the congregational levels? And if you do, how do you intend to do that? And what are the timelines that you intend to do that in? Thank you so much.
Okay, there are others. There's a hand here. Yeah, I think we can just ask, then we'll tackle them at once.
Hello, my name is John. My first question is, as the developer of the system, at what percentage have you given the role the Pcea? Or you have just, for some percentage, you have tied the Pcea? Yeah. The second one, how secure is the Presbyterian Church sure of the security of the information which is in the system? The third one, when registering pastors, which mode are you going to use? Will you be having unique numbers of the LR numbers for different presbyteries or parishes? Or which criteria are you going to use for the other question is, I heard you saying that you are going to include site value. How are you going to come to arrive at the site value of the pastors? The site value of the pastors of those lands. The other thing is how the accountant who is in the presbytery can be, or the financial officer who in the headquarters can be able to pull out the reports of the payments done, or the reports of each and every item. Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Or perhaps we can answer this. Yeah. Okay. Just.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I wanted a clarification whether the system has a limit number of users, in that when we have like how many people who can be using the system at a time.
There is a hand here, the front.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to inquire of the subsidiaries of Pcea, the business units. For example, the hotels, Milele Nairobi, Milele Mombasa, the hospitals. How are they accommodated in the system? Because we are talking about consolidation going forward. And how are they accommodated anywhere? Maybe you could shed light on that.
I'll tackle 3 questions, then I'll leave the rest to F4. So the first one is about the users. What tier of users does the system has? So this system first, perhaps I should have started saying what the product is. So this is a product known as Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. So this is a Microsoft product which we as Microsoft partners deploy. And having it as a Microsoft product is already as a system which has test of time first, and also has been subjected to a really intense, I can say it has tried to accommodate a lot of businesses. So to answer the question for users, tier users, it's a very, very, very flexible system. If you wanted to go this way, it will go. If you want it to go south, it will go. So according to what tiers of levels you want us to have as Pcea church, it can be affected. But the most common 3 tiers of the system is normally has a super admin, then it has an admin, then it has the user. In between here, you can have even, say, an accountant 1, accountant 2, accountant 3, user 1, user. Those are just roles. Such that you can have still an admin role and you are an accountant. You can have a super admin and you are still a test user. So the system is very flexible. It can accommodate any amount or any tiers of roles as much as you want us to. This comes also with permissions. It has read, write, delete, all those. So if you want us to say even the admin cannot delete, it will be that way. The admin cannot. If you want just the super admin to do modifications, it will be that way. The super admin can only be doing modifications. But if you want us also to have the user can change passwords for all presbyteries, it can do that. I'm trying to say it's a very flexible system, which the way you want us to set it is the way it will go. I hope I have answered it correctly. Yes, so there is a topmost level, which is the super admin, which now will have an overview of, because this is the person who onboards admins, who onboards also presbyteries, who onboards users, all those. So this person also has a role to delegate other roles to other users. I can give admin rights to another admin as the super admin. Yes. Then the second one was it was about medical confidentiality. No, the users cannot see any medical confidential, any data. You remember me saying if I go to my dashboard, I'll be able to see only mine. Yes. So no one. The third one was about security. This system is very secure. It will have a 2FA. 2FA means two-factor authentication. If you log into Google these days, it must ask you for maybe a text. Sindio? A text, or gives you a prompt that someone is trying to log in a device from Nyaururu. Is this you? You say, "Pana yo si mimi kabisa." So it has a multi-factor authentication, and it also logs everything. It logs everything in the sense that if the super admin logs in and see, it'll be able to see this person. There is a person who logged in at this time, this second. It logged out. Akaenda wapi. So it has a sitemap at the back end that you can be able to track any transaction made, any detail made in the system against the username that did it. Yeah. So I think those are questions.
Thank you, Kipto. Don't go away. There might be others. How do we intend to roll it out? Number one, the rolling of this system first is at the General Assembly. We will roll it at the General Assembly. We will do the procurement with it. We will do the manufacturing with it. We will manage the financials with it until we see it's stable, we are okay, everything equals sour. The next stage that we shall do, of course, when we now roll over to the presbyteries, or we seek to roll with the presbyteries, we have the protocols of the church. That will find its way to the business, and we will tell them that this is what we want to do. We want to roll the second phase to the presbyteries. When that is guaranteed, we will start by 3 things. Number one, Mary does the pension, and by the way, she will say something. It does the pension. So all that he will do is release to the presbyteries the portal for the accountant. The accountant will just sit, instead of vile mnatuma slip zingine hazijarisitiwa, sijui mnapigia mmechelewa. No, you go to the portal as the accountant, get into this system, to the pension, and then you want to put the schedule. You put the schedule of the people you have deducted in their payroll. Once that schedule is done, you scan your banking slip that you have done, you upload it, and press a button, pop, it is done. Mary will see it pop up. He will look at the schedule. He will agree with the schedule. He will confirm that the money is in the account. He will press another button, and automatic receipt is issued. And that receipt being issued has an automatic email that belongs to that particular person who sent with designated email. It will just take back the receipt to that email. So in a few minutes, you will find the receipt in your system, and that's it. The same with the medical, the same with the MMF. So that is the first schedule. That is the first rolling out. Then the third tier of rolling is the payroll. We will have cleared, the HR will be intact, we'll see the transfers, they are okay. We'll be given the authority, we'll release the payroll to the presbyteries. So you run the payroll. Once you run the payroll, each payroll is independent. It doesn't know what Rongere is doing, it doesn't know the other one is doing. It doesn't know the other one is doing. Within that payroll, you have the way to release the NSSF, you have the way to release the PAE, the PYE, and NHIF. Automatically, you release, and the money moves the way we normally do. At the top level, in the office of the Secretary General, who will be the super admin, if he gives me the authority, and as in the finance, we can tell already from that system who has not paid the payroll, who has not remitted the statutory deductions. We will alert you why. And the system will also prompt you that we have agreed this is the day to release all the statutory deductions. So the system, as you come in the morning, has prompted you. You needed to have prepared your payroll. Why is it not? You berate so that you prepare your payroll, is ready, you release the start, so that we have no issue with the government. So once we achieve that, then we will, when it comes to finance, presbyteries are sensitive. We'll now allow that you roll out to a few presbyteries in terms of finance system. So when a few presbyteries roll and they are comfortable in the running and everything is done, and we are comfortable and we feed back to Kosawa, then we'll roll over to all the presbyteries. We'll be in one platform. Not that anybody sees anybody's money or whatever, but the information that we have will trickle as a consolidated financial statement. When we are doing this together, we will now be able to address our third parties, which are the government, the KRA, any other outside us that requires us our obligations. We will have a solidified financial position. We will also be able to tackle the financial institutions who we engage. And we will have acknowledged, if we, for example, roll over to the parishes and the congregations, and as part of a baton, we have our 17 billion, 18, 20 billion that we roll over every financial year. If we put institutions, maybe we'll be talking between 25 and 30 billion in every year. That is not small money. When we are looking at a financial institution and telling you this is the business that we leverage, we are able to negotiate firmly our position. We want this position. If you want this 30 billion business, this is our position. And of course, we'll be able to assert ourselves. Right now, we cannot. In any financial institution, we cannot. In tax obligations, as Maina Kenywa said, we cannot because we are franchised in all directions. If we want to do investment, then we are capable to say, for example, this year, we are focusing Eastern region, for example. We are planting churches in Eastern region. What is a backfall? Can we ensure that, like the government says, 30% is development? In our revenue as associates, we can say 20% of every revenue that we raise will go to arts, mission, and planting charges. When that, because it's automatically deducted and pushed to a certain account, we'll say we are planting 16 churches in the Eastern region. Where they have no churches, we are doing it. And you don't require to do any fundraise, and we are done. That is the direction that the vision of the General Assembly has for us starting gradually. But they say a journey of 1,000 miles start with a single step. That is why that is the rolling over that we intend to. In terms of security, we have already secured ourselves in the Konza City, in the ICT hub, a secure platform where our data will be stored and well sealed in terms of ICT, so that to prevent any manner of hacking. We are also upgrading our ICT department so that we have experts, our Pcea members who are experts to ensure that any gagging, any hacking, any whatever, they are wakomacho and gangare 24/7 to ensure that our safety, just like Safaricom and other banks and other institutions, that is done. In terms of site value, when we are doing the property, this property management is already that one we are giving the foundation as it is. You will start onboarding the property. It is you, not us. We'll just give you that module. You start onboarding, uploading the titles, uploading the letters of allotment from Kajo, uploading their sale agreements, uploading all manner of documents kwa the control board, the mnaenda kwa board, the transfer, all those documents are there. They are sealed. Once you have uploaded, they are zipped. It goes to another file. You cannot access unless you are the secretary of Presbyterian Foundation. The only person who can access is the presbytery clerk and can only access the property under registered at that presbytery. No one else can access that information. That is how it is rolled. If the property of the sessions, then the session clerk has a particular password to access what is the property registered at a Presbyterian Foundation. You can see your titles there. You can see all the letters for posterity. That is how that will happen. They also run, you will fill in all the gaps or whatever it takes. In terms of HR, the diversity, we have a module for registration. That is an app that is integrated with this system that you register yourself. If you are in the groups of Women's Guild, you can quickly register. Once you put that data, it pops up in the director's office or in the session clerk or whatever. It has the protocols so that you can confirm, the session can confirm that this is true, is our member in the Women's Guild. Once they confirm, that is embedded in the database. If the Women's Guild director wants to know how many ladies have vitaba, you can quickly get that data. How many youth, you can quickly get. How many Sunday school, you can quickly get that. That is going to be embedded as an app in the system for biodata control. So it is going to do a lot in terms of remit of number of users. It has nothing as number of users. Business, how they going to be accommodated. I've said we have the hotel systems. It is going to be part of this integration. We are now rolling out the hotel management. We shall also, last year we were procuring a unified hospital system. They are almost now on one particular platform. That system, because it's a bit unique for hospitals, is going to be integrated with this system so that again, the information is feeding from the hospitals is already here. That's how we want to see our business together, so that the business arm is going to be run by Presbyterian Foundation. In terms of everything, in the PIN, any returns you make, they are the ones to view, the one to give you. URL, they can manage, you can manage together. But the fear that tukijulikana, tutaangazwa says, that is dying, and we are no longer going to use the methodology. Although we continue, it will reach a time that we will not have pride to hide our information. We will pride to see how much wealth we have created for this church. And because we have no fear anymore, because nobody is interested. When we have a single account transferring money to the way it's supposed to, why should you then hide? Everybody will have his money as it when you have your own, the session has, the presbytery. So a seamless environment will operate so that we no longer think about money. We start thinking how to finish the various strategic objective that we have as a church, others opposed to the resources that we generate. So our focus will then be, what is it that we can do? Because money is no longer an issue. Money is working for us. We have the resources. Nobody can tunya you what you have. We are progressing. That is the direction that the church really wants to achieve. Thank you. I think I have answered most of what you had asked. Unless there is anything else. Yes, Madenge.
You know, when we are marketing a product, a marketer will always look at the best side of it. But an accountant will look at the cost. Yes. How much are we going to spend as presbyteries and parishes on this system? 2, that's one, because, and I think these things will also depend on availability of Wi-Fi and something like that. Are we sure that all of us are going to afford the cost plus installing the Wi-Fi to be able to run the system? If the research has been done, I think the answer you have it.
Thank you. I say this is the error. The error. Kipto, how much have you charged the system? For now, for the General Assembly only. I think it's 1.2 for all those modules. If you share, every module is like 300,000, 200, Evo. So it is very highly affordable. If you go to one system, for example, Kikuyu Hospital, it costed them, I think, 24 million to buy one system. The same you go to hospital, the same like that. So it's a huge, huge cost. Compared to this, and that's why we procured this, is to us, is the most affordable system. Sijui kama naongea ukweli. That is the truth. That is the truth. So we continue doing this, and I remember every product, every module, they were charging 300, I think 300, 400, every module. I think that was the average charge, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yes. Any further question? In terms of affordability, it is very affordable because kila mtu department hii ilikuwa inanunua hiyo model. Kama ni yangu ya medical inanunua hiyo model, ya pension inanunua model, like that. That was how it was. Yes, Maleke.
Further to that, the annual maintenance. You see, once you buy the system, that's all. Or do we have an annual maintenance, an annual renewal, something like that, that will be run, like the head office has no problem because already you have procured, you are running. But when it comes to the presbytery, how much will we be budgeting for running this system over and above whatever will be distributed to us? Because if it trickles down to the parishes and the congregations, some of congregations may not afford, and we want to integrate everything.
As I said, this system is a custom system which was meant for Pcea. So it means it's something actually, most of the modules were developed from scratch. From scratch, it means we sat somewhere with some Pcea members and drew even the frameworks together, the pseudocode we wrote together. So it's a custom software, which means in terms of sustainability and so on, we'll have also to come and sit and agree on the support plan, which we now call the SLA. The SLA means you'll be using the system. This system sometimes has downs and ups. Even if it's complete right now, we say now we are good to go. We cannot just say, mtumie sasa system. Sometimes IT is very dynamic, it's very volatile these days. You wake up today, system, imeenda. So you see. So in such, we still have to come down, after development is done, we'll come sit down and discuss now on a support level agreement on whether we'll be charging monthly, yearly, annually, or biannually, all those. Yeah. So it's something to discuss. It's not a figure we'll say we'll give you right now, but it's something it's just a custom with software. So it's something we can agree.
Thank you, Kipto. Of course, for us who use systems, we know there is always that annual maintenance fee. How much are you charging us? Because it's also good to know annual maintenance fee. You will tell me, consultant tell me. I know we have it in the agreement. It's not much, but I'm reminded also by Caro procurement that the 1.2 was modules per module. Is it? The 1.2 was module per module. I think there were those who bought 7, there are those who bought 1.2. Yeah, in total, 6 million. Okay, so in total it was 6 million. Thank you for that correction. But one module was costing 1.2, 400, depending on which one. I know the pension and the medical because they are robust. That is what was costing almost 1.2 for each, but the rest was 6, 7, 450. That is kind of the range. Hallelujah. Tuko sawa. And that's why we said gradually, once we finish our system, once we finish this module the way it is, we shall roll it over gradually. We will come, train you, see it, compare with the so many that you have systems, see the way it is. We have, for example, what the system that we use is called zero system in financial system. If you look at that system currently, tumejaribu kutengeneza one report called the SES report kwa zero. It is very nice, it is very robust, you are able to do everything. But in terms of now customizing the reports that you need for management decision, haiko. Are we together? So you try, you've called, you call, they are unable. It's based in Britain. But when we had this 360, among other many systems that we reviewed, we found a lot of comfort. In terms of the SS report we had a problem with, it is up and running. And therefore, at the button of, as touch of a button, then we are able to do that. So we will gradually, you know, the independence of this Pcea is that watu who discuss, because there's nothing that is forced on anybody in terms of this. Madenge, uko sawa? All right. Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you. I'm curious to know what is the migration plan, especially for the presbyteries, as they move, as you onboard them into the system. How do you migrate them from the systems that they are using? Because I believe at some point it's going to render them redundant. What is the plan of migrating them into the new system?
I think we will just answer and say migrations comes in. They are able to get you the data that you are currently using and able to migrate to their system quickly, the financial data, and thereafter you can run the two systems parallel for like 1, 2, 3 months. Once that is done, then you are good to go. When you are comfortable, then you drop one and proceed on. That's normally how we did ours, and gradually it's happening. Members, I think we need to stop there because of this, with the interest of time. Let's appreciate Kiptor. Thank you so much. I think now we will, I know we have now the final bit of the Secretary General to do the resolution, but before the resolution are done, Mary come and say one thing about pension. We have a challenge, small challenge in pension. The way you are emitting, Mary, come as I speak, so that you share with us what is it that you expect the accountants, they are all here. What do you expect them to do for that as you finish? Then I say something about medical and we close.
Thank you. Thank you so much, F4. Good evening, members. Habari ya jioni. My name is Mary, and I work from the Pensions Office. I am glad to be here. I have actually had some good time because I've interacted with the accountants. And F4, I can assure you that I have received the most questions from them, and so all their concerns, we have them, and those we can address, we'll be able to address and get back to the accountants. However, it is good to mention that our scheme is still up and running, though we are not very sure what the future holds for us as the way we operate, because you can see the way the NSSF Act 2013 is coming, because the mention of the 72,000 per month, looking at the tier 1 and the tier 2, we are not so sure how it's going to treat us or how it's going to affect us, but Mungu mbele. So now, as at the close of business last year, that is 31st December 2023, with the minimum guaranteed income of 5%, we were able to close the fund at 1.8 billion. 1.8 billion with a minimum guaranteed rate of 5%, which may change. We are going to do the audit by end of March, and the rate may change from the 5% to maybe 8, 9, or 10. We are not so sure. We are waiting for Britam to give us that. The next thing I would like to mention is that the contributions are still coming, though I have noted, and we have noted with a lot of concern, the delays that are being experienced. We understand that the times are hard, but we should not delay the payments. Once the payments are done, let's bring in the schedules and the bank slips. You can either bring them, send through the courier or the emails, just like the way we do it. What I would like to request is that if you send them via emails, kindly note the check number on the bank slip so that it will be easier for us to trace it from the bank statement. The other thing is that amongst us in the presbyteries and the parishes, we have members who have retired or others have left employment for one or another reason. It is good for us as accountants because we know them and we live with them. Just encourage them to come for their benefits, because we have realized there are some people who have retired and they do not know that they're supposed to come and request for their benefits, so they remain at home expecting us to process their benefits and pay them. It is not easy because we cannot release any money until the owner requests for it. So kindly talk to them and tell them that once one has left employment, it is good to come for their benefits, and you'll be able to help them. And once they request, also encourage them and inform them that it is not paid immediately from the office. We give it a period of 30 days because we have to do the processing and help them access money from the fund manager, who is Britam. The next thing I would like to talk about is the member biodata forms. From what we've heard from Kipto, now we have just started working on the ERP. That system, as you have seen, is a very good one. But as we work on it, it is good to start with the proper biodata of our members. I know we had requested for that in July last year, and whatever you sent us is what we have used to get to where we are. However, not everybody was able to submit. Reasons we do not know, and this is why we are requesting kindly. We are going to send you that form again, maybe from tomorrow evening. We are going to send you that form. Kindly forward all the forms from all the presbyteries, and everything is clear. If it is a member's email, member's phone number, member's date of birth and all that, it is not hard to get that because I believe we have the information. So the moment we have that, we'll be able to work very fast, and we expect to roll out our system beginning maybe from 1st of April. So we have 3 months to work on it, so that by the time we are coming to you in July, because you are coming to the regions again for the member education in July, we'll be able now to interact and tell you how far we have come and how good the system is performing and how easy the work has become. So kindly note that that member biodata form is very, very, very important, because you know the fights we've always had. Every time we have an AGM, you are always complaining that the statement reads that you are born in 1920, others 1990. It is not proper information, but that form is the one that's going to help us give our members the best and the best that they can get during that time. The other question, if you allow me, I know there is not much time, but members are asking about those who are in the gratuity scheme. We changed that through the advice of the business committee. So all our members now are meant to be or are supposed to be in the permanent and pensionable status. And so we closed the gratuity account. It has a balance of close to 25 million. But those who had to transit from the gratuity to the pension scheme, we receive their statements when you're giving the statements to the other members during the AGM, and all Britam or our fund manager is going to do is to transfer the balances now from the gratuity to the pension scheme, because everything that has been contributed to that account will be paid to you once you stop working. Thank you very, very, very much. You gave me 2 minutes. Sorry, I spent 4. May God bless you, and please comply so that everything moves swiftly. Baraka.
Thank you, Mary, for that time. I don't know whether they can project a 2-minute thing for medical. Just project. This one can come, kidogo. Just project it. Whoever is the studio, you can project the 2 things for medical. And as the medical come, members, you know we have a self-funded medical scheme that we really wish that we have so far. Where is Mukami? Mukami. Mukami, somebody can call her. We have, I think, 26 or 7 presbyteries out of the 61, and this is a plea that we want to make. One, the medical scheme that we have is not a normal medical insurance scheme. It is a self-funded medical scheme. So the money that you pay as premium sits in our bank, and it is invested and reinvested. Out of when you go to the hospital, we have a partner called Britam. Before we had a partner called Equity. Now we have a partner called Britam, who manages your health issues in all the hospitals. When you attend those hospitals, they send the bill at the end of the month, and we release funds. There's a way we have agreed that on monthly basis, this is the amount that we release. That is what we have done since the year 2010, and I wanted to show you the performance of that scheme because it is important so that you see the importance of us. Because at the end of the year, when you take an insurance medical scheme, any insurance, at the end of the year, if you have not gone to the hospital, that money goes away with the insurance. But for this medical scheme, that money remains with us. If you remember, we had an outpatient that only in that particular scheme. But because of that money that we continue to save, we were able to build some apartments, 7 townhouses in Lavington. We spent close to, from the medical scheme, about 50-something million that we added. We are a stakeholder in that investment, which we receive like 500,000 every month. It is out of that we were able now to cover you for the outpatient. And we continue receiving. By the close of the year, the fund hand balances the fund balance as we closed the year was almost 40 million. It continues again to build, so that at the end of the year, every year, we continue keeping that fund, reinvesting it, so that the objective of the church is that you get a bigger benefit and you lower the premium for our health care. So it is a very important scheme for this church to maintain the health care of everyone, for all the employees, and we are rolling it to all the elders and our church members in the same scheme. So this is a very, very important strategy for the church to take care of health. So when you are giving your premiums to passes, remember, as a presbytery, you are doing your church a lot of disfavor. Maybe they come and tell you, we'll give you that commission. But at the end of the day, you are giving 10, 20,000, but you had paid a premium worth 300,000. That money, only one member of the presbytery spent that money. At the end of the year, that whole 200 and something thousand goes with the Catholic Church. Isn't not doing your church a lot of disfavor? The SG and the General Assembly has redirected that all presbytery should be members, because that's how we are able to cater of your needs. There are quite a lot of benefits that now are accruing from the Britam perspective, the way they are giving us free benefit, free one-time health checkups, full body checkup for a year, and many others, including Kwasimu, who consult a doctor on phone instead of paying those consultancy fee. There is quite a huge product. I thought they would be here, they would tell us. But Our plea as the treasury is to kindly request you, be all the presbytery enrolled to this scheme, because at the end of the day, the money does not go away. It is your money. And we tell you, this scheme is audited every year. Up to last year, it is fully audited, equal sour, there is nothing, it is well, extremely managed. And I thank the SG because he gave us the board to run that scheme. So if you're a treasurer here, and please, you are not a member of the medical scheme as your presbytery, kindly be our advocate. Let's pressurize, let's remove that passes, let's bring it to the Pcea. It is out of you who said we want outpatient. That's why we went and got the outpatient, the dental, the optical, all you have. Minor, I thought you'll give the one that 2010 up to date, but it's okay. But by the close of that period, that is for 2010 up to 20, that is how we had performed. Kwa hivyo nawaomba on behalf of the Finance Committee, on behalf of the General Assembly, tafadhali, let's all on board in our medical scheme, because we will not lose any figure, any money at the end of the day. And the kind of management the Britam are doing, we are so happy. The medical cost has really gone down. They're able even to call you, those who have existing preconditions, they are existing and putting you on a plan how to manage your condition every time, and asking you, have you taken your medicine, so that they control instead of you having an issue to go to the hospital, which is very, very extremely good. Thank you. God bless you. We will prepare now to invite the HT so that he can now invite the DSG to say a word as they invite the Secretary General, so that we can do the lap up for this conference. You can look at what I said, or what we said. You look at the first, see one or two way forward for each and every scheme that you were given, every topic that we had. What is the way forward for that particular topic like that, so that we are able to finish HT. Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Let's appreciate a finance officer. And want to appreciate you once again for the patience and the concentration. We can see there's a lot of interest in this workshop. But before we move to the next level, we want to appreciate our partners, Millennium Solutions. And I believe this far you have appreciated what we have been saying. Now, what we're talking about, ERP, is here with us. And it's our prayer that when we go to this platform, all of us, the many challenges that we have been talking of will be addressed, because we'll have leveraged on technology. And we have always said we're in the information age. So before we enter to the next phase, I will invite, now all of us, I'm looking for a reverend, but I will request Reverend Koskei, you give a vote of thanks to the team, and also you.
Sawa. Thank you. Bwana asifiwe. Aya, tusalimiane wapendwa, tumechoka. Bwana asifiwe. Sawa. So I want to take this opportunity to thank our team from who has given us the system, the ERP system. We want to say thank you so much. And I think we have seen what they have given to us. It's a very, very good system. And I think we are going places. So as a church, we really appreciate. So kimwego ngoi missing. Haya, sawa. Nimemwambia asante sana. Tumeshukuru kwa maana hakika you have done your part, and we have seen you have delivered what we exactly wanted as a church. And I am sure going forward, we are going to embrace the system it will be of our benefit and also for the benefit of our church. So may God bless you so much. May God do you good. And we pray that because you are a younger generation, may God continue uplifting you as you continue building the corporate world. So may God do you good and may the Lord bless you. So I think we shall pray for you, then we can say kwaheri. So let us pray for them. Father, we thank you and we worship your holy name this evening. We want to thank you, Lord, for the team that they have given us the solutions to our IT and also financial problems. We say, may you bless them, oh dear Lord. They are a young upcoming generation and we commit them before you. As they use their intelligence and also their profession, we pray may you grant them wisdom so that they can be beneficial to our society. Wherever they go, whatever they do, we pray may you be with them and guide them, oh dear Father. And also as a church, as we embrace the system they have given to us, oh dear Lord, we pray we may accept the changes that is coming with us. We thank you, Lord, and we worship you because you are able and you are worthy. And in Jesus' holy name we do pray and believe. Amen. Thank you. Tumeshukuru sana.
Minor and the finance team, you can usher them. Thank you. Now we are just coming to finalizing the day's business. And to do that, I'll invite our Deputy Secretary General, Reverend Paul Karaoke, to come and give words of wisdom, as he also invited the Secretary General. Welcome.
Bwana asifiwe. Indeed, mine is to come and welcome the Secretary General to come and wrap up with the resolutions. But I cannot say anything without appreciating the finance team for the way they have run the program. Just a few weeks ago, actually, we had the leaders seminar at Nakuru, and we were running the program with the Secretary General. But you realize when we come to finance, we hand over the program completely to the finance officer and the honorary treasurer because this is their baby. And we want to thank them because of the way that they have run the program. Indeed, we have been taught a lot, we have learned a lot. I was wishing that this program would extend. Indeed, we agreed that we need to bring even the accountants together because if we were given the microphone at that time when Maina Kenya was presenting, I would have said because of the way he practically presented, you know, things that he has interacted with us, we would have had more time so that we can, you know, straighten up some of the things that we are doing in our presbyteries and our parishes, but more time will come. Thank you so much for your response. Thank you so much for being active. Apart from the devotions that we had, we decided that we are going to be part of the learning team together with the heads of the department, and we are so grateful. So as we come to the end, I wish to invite the Secretary General so that he can guide us in regards to the resolutions of the way forward that we have to make. But allow me, because I'm in the office of the HR, if there's one thing that we need to do as a church is to onboard on the medical scheme. Please, I want to make a plea to you. Because most of the times when we've had issues with the HR, it is me who gets a call that Minister so-and-so and worker so-and-so is in hospital in a critical condition and is on the way to the hospital. And the hospitals are not, you know, they are demanding a deposit and we don't have money. And our insurance scheme is not taking this person. So when we follow with the finance team here, we only realize that they are not in our scheme. And that has presented cases when we get emergencies. That is when people remember that they can run and, you know, try one or two, three things so that the person can be admitted. You know, wakati mnachanga pesa ndio mtu aingia kwa hospitali, and when it's a card just to run, and then when again at the end of the month or at the end of the year, there are benefits. There are benefits because of what the FO has said. Hiyo pesa ambayo, hiyo kampuni ingine inapata, at the beginning of the next year, mtakuja mwambiwa, your insurance has expired. You need to pay more money. What they don't tell you is that the million they have saved, hiyo ime disappear. But when we come to the medical scheme that we have, whatever is not used becomes our money. So the Britam and the others, they are just managing our money. And saa ingine hata inafika mahali unasikia kwamba pesa imepita, and what the hospital is demanding, na kwa sababu we are managing, saa zingine tunaenda kwa Secretary General, tunamwambia, hii pesa ilikuwa ilipe 200,000 because kesi yake kulingana na medical condition yake ni 200,000. But kwa sababu hospitali imedemand maybe a 50,000 extra, na hii ni skimu yetu, tunaenda tunakaa nao chini wao na sisi tunasema hapana, because of 1, 2, 3 extend. But if it is another medical scheme, kama ni 200 ni 200. And therefore, being the head of HR, I would encourage you kindly, when you go back, tokeni huko, kujeni huku ndani, ndio pamoja tuweze kusimamisha kanisa yetu. Amen. With those few remarks, allow me to invite the Secretary General to come and wrap up with the way forward. Let's appreciate him as he comes.
Thank you, Bwana DSG, for that. We want to appreciate everyone, and especially those who are presented. It was very clear. But maybe I can just say something from where he stopped about the medical scheme. These days, and for those who are here and who are working with insurance companies, there is a very good excuse. Almost all the insurance companies are using, called pre-existing conditions. When they come and say your condition was pre-existing, they are putting a limit and saying we cannot pay, even if your premium was supposed to pay maybe 700, they say we can only pay 350 because your condition was pre-existing. And this is a very tricky situation. If you have been having a problem for 3 months, then it is said this is pre-existing. So this is a very tricky situation. But that is not the case with our scheme, because it is us who are managing and saying, or rather who are controlling and saying this is what we want done. So kindly join our scheme. And that come from many insurance companies, has caused many people to suffer and to cry. So kindly, please, for those who are saying we have this kind of a scheme, we have this kind of a thing. I know there are so many interests, because there are also brokers who are getting something out of the schemes some of us are operating. But kindly, let us put our interest aside. Let us, think about the church and also be our brother's keeper. Because at the end of the day, when an employee gets sick and he or she is in a different policy, we'll still come in and try to help, and it is not easy. So please understand us, that we mean well, and we want us to be comfortable as much as possible. Now, we've been taken through several, what do I call them, topics We had the governance, which was taught. I was not here, but I followed online, kidogo, by Kimnge Teach Julius, Dr. Julius Kimnge Teach. We also had another topic, which we've just concluded with, ERP. And we talked about constitutional amendment, that is our PP. We were taken through the foundation and the Kaireta issues. We had the program-based budget, and all of us were there. Then today we were taken through the taxation, the KRA, and taxation matters. And finally, we had a snippet on the medical scheme. So it is good for us to live here asking ourselves, what have we said? And how are we going to move forward? You are the people who are controlling money, the Pcea money. And actually, for me, I've really been enriched, and I look forward to implementing some of these things even better as we have been sharpened here. And therefore, so that we don't remain here forever, let us have a one resolution. One resolution. One resolution for every topic we had. We just have one resolution so that we agree this is the way forward. This is the way forward. And this is how we are going to do it. We were thinking of having 7 groups. You know, we count 1 to 7, and each group to handle one, and they come with one way forward. But I'm trying to think aloud. Are we able to do it on the floor? Tunaweza ifanyia on the floor? Hey, tusimame kidogo. Wana DSG, half of your class is asleep. Aya, salimia watu wawili watatu. Just say hi. Namwambia we are concluding it well. Yeah, we are concluding it well. Yes. Good. Aya. Haya basi tuketi. Haya. What do you think? We still have the Holy Communion shortly after this. So do you think we can do it on the floor? Or do you want us to have 7 groups so that each group can come up with a resolution for every topic? Way forward. What do you think? On the floor? Yeah, carried. So it's quicker. So we had the first topic, which was the issue of governance. And we were taken through several matters. And having understood and having looked at our own governance and the gaps we were able to identify, can we have somebody who think, yes, I got it, and this is the way we are supposed to go? Anybody? I know it's not easy. But yes, I've seen this is a sharp class, and people are able to capture, judging by the questions you are throwing on the floor, this is a sharp class. Governance. Yes, Mchungaji. Can we get another mic? We should spend only 20 minutes on this, then we go.
Okay, thank you, our SG, and also our members. I think yesterday when we were being taught by Dr. Kim Ngetich, he told us on an issue concerning the issue of investing on currencies. And I think as we were told by our FO and also from the family bank, that if we open our bank accounts with family bank, the 27,000 accounts with the family bank, we shall be able to get enough interest. And if we are able to get 19.7 million from 1,060 accounts, so which means if we if we open 27,000 accounts with family bank, we are able to get around 483 million shillings. So my proposal is this: as a church, we all join a family bank for us to be able to invest in currencies. So maybe you can make a resolution that as a church, all our presbyteries, all our parishes and institutions, we join family bank. Thank you.
Good. Okay. One resolution. Do we all agree that it is, in fact, I don't know, I was not able to follow the entire presentation, but out of the 1,000 accounts, many of those accounts are zero. They opened so that they comply and they continued with their business. Eastern, remember, I'm still coming, because all the checks you gave me were Equity Bank and other banks. Remember, I'm still coming. So we agreed, and we gave a timeline for you to comply. So do we agree with that resolution? In fact, our calculations were that if all of us were to migrate, every month we were supposed to get roughly how much? Every month, depending, or rather looking at our accounts, we were supposed to be getting over 50 million every month. So we don't need any more money. Lakini sasa sisi kuto jari, and everybody hajari, and I'm sure, and I'm trying to push now the finance officer and this office, now that we have about 20 million, that money should be distributed to the owners. They should be given checks, because that is your money. That is what I'm pushing, so that that money is not ours. So every parish, every presbytery, every institution to be given its money back, equivalent to how much, because the data, the document is there showing some will get zero even as we move forward. So do we accept that resolution by show of hands? Aya, thank you. Any other resolution? I give an allowance of one more. Yes, Bwana Efo. Yeah, the Kameme disappeared. Yeah, there.
Yes, SG. He also emphasized, because of the investment challenges that we are having and the franchise, he also challenged us, can we review our financial structure to allow synergy? That was a challenge he posed to us.
And who is recording this? I hope
Reverend Kariuki.
Reverend Kariuki,
the internal auditor.
So come again.
That we review our financial structure to allow synergy. In fact, it was repeated by the chair of the accountant, Bonawashira, and was saying, for us to be able to harmonize our operations, then we need to review our financial structure so that we can give that leeway. Of course, by reviewing, we are saying we have a bank, you allow a structure that will allow our money to work for us. There's a good flow of our money like that. So financial structure.
Good, structure that, and you'll lead it for us. You will harmonize our operations so that we can have bargaining power, and that we can be able to know our worth going forward. Do we agree with that the solution? By show of hand, ikikataliwa tunaenda mbele. Do we harmonize our operations, financial operations, by show of hands? Okay, carried. So, I hope I've not locked out anybody who had a resolution. We go to, yes, mpatie hii mic.
Thank you. Dr. Kipngetich talked about effective resource management, and I want to relate to that resolution and propose that we separate management of our enterprises from the ministry by forming an investment arm of the church. I noticed also our strategic plan for the GA and pillar number 7, enterprise development. It proposes the same thing. I think it is a high time that we formed an investment arm of the church and leave it to be professionally run.
Good. Can you, is that Kaidete? Explain so that we harmonize with
yes,
your point.
that's exactly what we were advised, and it's true that even Kenya has emphasized that we allow all our business to run under one pin called foundation, and therefore foundation structures itself all the way to the congregation, so that then we structure so that it is run professionally, so that the church does the ecumenical work or foundations, and all other church businesses are run under that particular platform. I think that's the emphasis that Kipngetich did.
Okay, so you capture that. So do you agree with that? Actually, it's harmonizing this further. Do you agree with that? Thank you. Okay. The other one is ERP. Any resolution for ERP? Resolution for ERP. Aya, pale nyuma. I don't have my glasses, so I cannot capture the face, but I can see the heart. Good.
I'm Washira. Against that, we adopt the ERP system, and it has a timelines of implementation, cascaded down to a presbyteries, a timeline, even it's 1 year, then cascaded down to parishes, the timeline, but we adopt it as a whole.
Very well. We adopt the ERP as a church system with timelines from the head office to the presbytery, from the presbytery to parishes and congregations. Carried? By show of hands? Very well. Thank you. Even Washira was not seconding it, but now he has remembered, he has seconded it. So, okay, any other resolution on ERP? Any other resolution, or that carries the day? Okay, that carries the day. So, you okay, fine. That carries the day because that is good. The other issue was constitution. We talked about constitutional amendment, any resolution from the treasurers on constitutional amendment. Any resolution? Yes, Bwana Hishti.
Thank you, SJ. My resolution on this one is to say that the Constitution should be aligned, rather than an amendment of the Constitution, to be aligned with the changes that we are envisaging, the best practices in financial management across the church.
Yes, way forward. The constitutional amendment to be in tandem or aligned with changes which are being made in the constitution. But who is going to do that?
SG, I think this one we are, because we are working, when Wakiri Wangai indicated, we are working on a document which you are presenting before the timeline you gave. And we thought that this forum gives weight to that amendment. He said they should have a participatory. It should not just be from us, but it should come out of this conference. And I believe this is the best forum.
Very well. Yeah, I think that's better. Maybe to karabati kidogo, maybe we can assign maybe 3 or 4 people, so that if you have anything you want, anything financial about finances, you want added in the constitution, you forward, or the treasurers to forward their recommendation to them, so that they be incorporated, and then they do what? They include them in that document which we are preparing. So I think that is how we can be able to align ourselves. So it's a way forward. Do we go by that? Yes, because let me tell you, we are saying we are in a constitutional movement. And if this movement bypasses us, we'll have problems. Because constitution is not amended every day. It will take a long time. So we need 3 people. Those who will receive any suggestion and then put it together with the docket which is being prepared by the HODs, so that it will be incorporated. Your suggestions will be incorporated. Of course, the team will be led by the HT and finance officer. Can we get a third person? Anybody can volunteer? Jeddah. Anybody can volunteer, so that they receive any suggestion which you have, so that we align ourselves with the constitution, or they also make any suggestion that they want to make, of course, from you. Any volunteer? Yule ambaye anajihisi kana kwamba yeye anaweza tatua mambo ya kikatiba. Yes.
Thank you, SG. What we had suggested and we did, the Finance Committee had appointed an executive, which are actually the regional treasurers, which we sat, and when Wangai presented, we are going to receive that document of all the resolution for 20 years, plus what the finance treasurers can send to us, so that we prepare a document before 22nd, when we have the Finance Committee, so that we table that document to the Finance Committee. They adopt, they increase, they amend, then we have a final document that we submit before the due date on 1st of March.
Good. So it is work in progress. Aya. So come with your suggestion again.
Okay, just to enrich it, there's also at the Washira and he has a team. They also to come up with some small issues at the level of the accountants. So he also to give us a document to enrich the whole process. So Washira, you'll also give us a.
Tutafanya hiyo.
Okay. Na wewe Washira ulijiwekea kameme hapo na ulikuwa uchangia alafu urudishe. So Aya. So we allow that committee, but if you have any suggestion, you give those suggestions either to Ashira or to this team so that those suggestions can be accommodated. Good. The other issue was on Kairete and foundation. Any way forward? Way forward? And today I have not seen Patricia. Way forward? No way forward. Yeah? You know I cannot suggest. So, any suggestion?
Thank you.
Way forward?
There are two things Patricia said. One is that the Presbytery's congregation parish interest themselves to buy the apartments, maybe a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, and of course they have very good return. If you assume at a 20% capacity, they have more than 900,000. So return. So it's good that they can interest themselves. So one resolution was that the presbyteries, parishes, and congregations do put effort to buy at least an apartment. That will save us a lot. The second one was that for those for those who owe Kairete money, those who have not cleared, clearly to clear their obligations. Thank you.
Yeah. So, two proposals. One, we make an effort so that we don't build and others come and occupy our houses here. So we make an effort of buying at least a house or an apartment here. Carried? Aya. Mkono, do you carry that one? Okay, carried. Number 2, watu walipe pesa ya Kairete. Wale ambao wako na deni. I'm just about to come, by the way, so mulipe mapema. So, aya, carried. Amendment? Okay. So, kila mtu anapewa kamera.
And for those who have finished paying,
yes.
And you know, part of the income that we get from at the presbyteries are ministers' tithe. And this usually goes to Kairete. And those who have already finished, why should the ministers' tithe be going there instead of coming back then? So as we do the resolution of those who have not paid, those who have finished, the ministers' tithe then should come back to us.
Which presbytery is this?
The presbyteries that have finished paying.
No, I'm asking your presbytery.
Rogeri.
Rogeri.
Yeah. If you have paid and the minister's tithe is still going there, and I know it should come back.
Yeah, I know why I'm asking that. Let him answer.
Okay. The information, brother, is that to stop tithe deduction from March last year. Hatuna tithe tunalipa anymore. So the tithes ni za wachungaji wanapeleka parishes zao. If you are still deducting, then you need to be refunded that money. So, but we stopped and we say that, including the business committee, that stopped. So tithe, the only tithe that come is, for example, for the 3 years, because we were paying for the 3 years. If you never paid that tithe, that still is receivable. You can finish that debt that you never paid. But if you paid faithfully for the 3 years, it is stopped last year, March.
Yeah, that is the correction I wanted, because we no longer, deduct tithe. Tithe, they still pay, but it doesn't come to Kairete. So, as from March last year. But those we are with arrears for the tithe, for Kairete, it is still payable. Good. So, we clear Kairete money. Agreed? Aya, asante sana. So any other way forward on foundations to Kairete? Any other way forward? None. So we are moving well. We had the program-based budget. Program-based budget. What is our way forward? This is where you people are. This is your responsibility. Way forward? Yes. Mkono hapo nyuma.
It was evident that most, if not all, people had not done an SP, strategic plan. So I think there should be a way forward that every presbytery, every parish should have, first of all, a strategic plan for their entity.
Yes. We cannot be able to implement a program-based budget without a strategic plan. So it's quite imperative for all the presbyteries to develop a strategic plan. Current timeline, immediately.
Immediately.
With immediate effect, because how are you budgeting? So it is no longer the Kiduzo way. We need to develop that strategic plan. And by the way, that is why your presbytery is not being rated well, even within what we call these presbytery rankings for the moderatorial trophy. How do we rate you without a strategic plan? It is not possible. So please, with immediate effect, we've agreed that all those presbyteries without a strategic plan to develop one with immediate effect. And those with, this is me who is adding, those with strategic plans to faithfully align them with their budgets so that we are able to move on well. Higher carried? Yes. So the other one, any other on program-based budget? Any other way forward? Yes. Number there.
That we, after the strategic plan, which should be done in 3 months' time, then by October, we should adopt the program-based budget.
Okay. Deadline for adoption, October. Agreed? Agreed? Show of hands, please. Hiyo mikono imekuwa michache, ni kama hatuelewi kabisa. Haya. Where 2 or 3 raises their hand, it is carried. So, good. The other one is KRA, stroke taxation. Somebody saying something somewhere? Macho yangu hawezi fika huko, lakini nimesikia sauti. Haya.
Check. Tunajua ulitoa so huwezi ona hapa. Naitwa Jonathan. I think based on the program-based budget, one of the recommendations you would want to extend to the head office, even as you're implementing, is that the programs that have cost implications to parishes and to presbyteries, that communication comes before the presbytery does their budgets. So that if there is going to be an event for accountants next year, we get that communication early enough so that we are able to plan and avoid communications that come in between and have financial implications?
Timely communications over the budgeting before the presbyteries do their budgets. Carried? Aya. Elder Jada, at least you are closer. Upewe kameme. Tumepeana ziko huko tu, zinazunguka huko.
SG was suggesting that program-based budget is a very, very good thing. But I think now it calls for the finance committee, headed by HT and the FO. We should not stop at this stage. If at all we wanted to, because initially we had the traditional way of doing historical budgetary process, which our good staff could actually be able to effectively handle it with just few instructions. But the program-based, it's about the vision and the vision carriers. And this one now calls for sensitizing or equipping the crack and the moderator and the treasure, the session clerk in the parishes and the moderators of the parishes. So I would suggest that what you are suggesting is good, but at least you go a step higher. Even if it is the regional training, we undertake it together with as a finance committee before June, so that by June, when you are releasing the head office budget, it will actually land into the people who are already prepared. Because these are the vision carrier, because this one now cannot be undertaken by our workers, as much as they have been doing it before, but it calls for the vision carrier to get very, very much involved. So by September, we just kick off.
Very well. Training of the program-based budget to be taken down to regions and presbyteries, headed, of course, by our head office finance team, so that the program-based budget becomes a reality. Carried? By show of hands, more training, very well. Carried. Was there another hand on this side? Yes.
About the policies, there were policies that were introduced. There is finance policy that has not been finalized. It should be finalized as soon as possible. Plus, we should implement, we should take up the other policies that have been made and adapt them at the presbytery level.
Very well. Yes, we implement the fraud policy, the procurement policy, the ICT policy, the investment policy, and the one which has not been passed by the business to be, yes, for implementation, so that we can harmonize our operations as a church. There is one I have been clamoring for, but they are yet to do it, called the social media policy. So, but nobody, anyway, so, carried, do you agree? Okay, so any other on KRA and taxation? Yes, there's a hand there. And don't mind, if you remember something, you can still take us back. This is not a court, so if you remember something you could have said, you are free to do that. But my 20 minutes are almost done. Thank you.
Thank you, SG.
there's something that came out very clearly about taxation, that if we are able to consolidate all our accounts into one, we will take advantage of the tax. Because some are making profit, some are making loss, so at the end of the day, it's going to reduce on what we are paying to the KRA.
Very well. To caution ourselves against the many losses we are incurring in terms of taxation, we look for ways and means of amalgamating our accounts for whatever you will add there. So that's it. Carried? Okay. Aya, you want something?
About the standardizing the chart of accounts that we, through the finance committee, we come and prepare harmonized, a standard chart of account for the church.
Okay, sorry, you are calling it what?
The standardized chart of account.
Haya, simuelewa. The standardized chart of account. Kusema kweli sikuelewa. So, haya. Simuelewa. Chart of accounts. Whatever that means. Carried? Haya. Hiyo nitauliza nyumae. Maybe sikuipata mzuri. But we have a standardized chart of accounts. Any other on KRA? Yes. And taxation? Here.
Mine is on the ICT policy, that we revise the ICT policy to incorporate guidelines for implementing the new data protection law.
Okay. Haya, that one is quite critical because we collect data and we have data and it's very tricky. So we need to incorporate the new data protection law. Carried? Yes, yes. So should be amended. Fine. Any other for KRA? Trying to lash? Any other for taxation? I can't remember the answer which was given when it was asked about the sub-pins. So, and I was expecting Elder Jada to ask about that. Higher.
I have one. I have one.
Yes, somebody is having one.
The reconciliation of employees' iTax ledgers to be expedited.
Come again.
Reconciliation of employees' iTax ledgers to be expedited.
Okay. So a way forward is you know, the ledger, the employees' ledger to be harmonized and to be implemented, to have one payroll for that matter. Aya, carried. You understood. Actually, it was explained very well here, so that we are able to exactly follow the issue of taxation and to know where we are, and also for bargaining purposes. Carried. You have an objection? No. Okay, carried. Yes. Aya, more than 2. So, finally, we have the medical scheme. Any way forward? Medical scheme for Pcea. Way forward. Medical scheme, it was the last topic we had. Yeah. Or you want to say? Yes. Reverend Kaira.
Yes. Noting the value addition through the medical scheme all presbyteries and parishes to on board?
Yes, this is re-emphasizing that knowing what Reverend Kaira has called value addition and the benefits of our own medical scheme, which is operated by Britam, all presbyteries to come on board. Agreed? Yes. Any other? Any other? I'm closing. Yes, there is a hand there.
Mine was on what Reverend Kaira has said. Should we expound the inclusion of presbytery and parish to include also the institution? Because we also have people from other institutions as well.
Yes, I think that is wise. We also include our institutions, our church-owned institutions, also to come on board so that we are able to have our money work for us. Agreed on that addition? Yes. So any other as we close?
Sorry, Mr. SG, there was something about CAC TV. I don't know if that was part of the discussion also.
Yes. CAC TV. CEO wa CAC TV hakuni heherera. Yes.
I have something about that actually, and I want to put it in form of an analogy. We all know about this doctor that has stayed in his clinic for a very long time without clients. And I think he was an orthopedic consultant where he decided he's going to mold some rocks and paint some form of a ball on it and put it in corners so that when kids go around, they kicked these rocks, and then he went back to his office to wait for the patients. Or this other one of a window repairer who threw the rocks into the houses with a note for glass repairer, called this number, generating employment for yourself. And I'm thinking, because the presentation that we were given, it had three aspects. It was empower, educate, and entertain. And I'm thinking maybe we can add a fourth E, which is evangelize. If we can use that CAC TV as an avenue of evangelizing or mission work. Just like, MBCI, the way they do that, once you keep on listening or watching these avenues of theirs, you'll want to find out which is the nearest MBCI church that you'd want to ascribe to, or Hope TV, and you would want to ask where is the next Sitam church, so because the content and the value that they are offering on what you're listening and watching, you'd want also to continue that with the avenue or the churches that they have. So we can use CAC TV as a way of evangelizing or mission work, so that the lost members that we had as Pcea and have gone, or the new members that we want to bring on board, we can use that broad and vast network, because it reaches very many masses, so that we can be able now to get more members. And that can also be, although not directly to CAC TV, but revenue in terms of offering tithes and all these other incomes to PCA as an umbrella. I thought about that.
Yeah, CAC TV, the solution one is to have them include evangelism as one of their pillars. Correct? Yes, definitely. Aya, any other resolution for CAC TV? Because we need to support CAC TV. Yeah. In camera, depending on what I'll think, I'll tell you what I was told by our late brother, Reverend Peter Kanya, what he told me on his hospital bed. We need to support this. We need to support CAC TV. So can we come up with one resolution? One resolution. That is maybe one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about and with and over CAC TV. So, one resolution, Somebody? Yes?
That we ensure that all functions carried in the presbyteries, head of General Assembly, parishes, congregations are well covered by CAC TV for a considerate cost to the CAC TV.
Yes, we support CAC TV through our activities and our programs within the parishes and presbyteries at a considered cost. Agreed? Yes, agreed? Yes, please let us support CAC TV because I'm a Davao. So let us support CAC TV. So any other resolution? How many resolutions are those, Reverend Peter? About 20. Okay, he will consolidate them. We give him time so that after supper, he will just go through them so that we get to know. Yes, Dr. Joki. Yeah, people are not returning our mics, so.
Thank you.
Na wale ambao wako na mic huko nyuma umrudishe sasa.
Thank you for the two resolutions, and thank you for the idea of the extra E. So I would like to, in totality, I would like to suggest that we embrace and support the media concept, the CAC media concept, acknowledging its potential as a powerful tool for evangelism. And so therefore we can talk about evangelize, educate, empower, and entertain, the 4 E's.
Amen. Okay. So, carried, we embrace the dream, the vision in totality. We talked about CAC radio or something, and the entire vision of CAC. So, carried, good. Asante sana. So, I don't think we have any other resolution. That's enough. It's now 20 minutes to 7. And I want to invite yes, Aya, Elder Jada to join Reverend Kariuki, CPA, in harmonizing those resolutions which will be read to us after Holy Communion.
SG and those who had written those proposals, they can forward them for ease of consolidation.
Yeah, please. Although some were reading from the heart. So, but if you are the one who gave a proposal, please, you can just write it down and forward, so, for harmonization, and you bring it to Reverend Kariuki. Very well. Yes.
Okay, thank you, SG. So I think there is one thing we have forgotten, that we have a CAC insurance agency. And because I think as ministers, our vehicles are insured by the parishes. So maybe we can make also a resolution that all our vehicles to be insured through CAC insurance agency, please.
Yes, CAC insurance agency to be our insurance agency as a church. When it comes to our vehicles, our manses, our schools, and ourselves, CAC to be our agency. Carried? Yes, carried. And please, let us be like the Israelites. You know, the Israelites says that their money must circulate among them 7 times before it leaves their territory. As Presbyterians, we can do the same. And we can shake mountains if we do that. We are so rich, yet so poor. Because as we've been trained here, we are not able to harmonize our operations. So please let us come together. Let us realize ourselves. I always give this example that we have, for those who have been to some places, we have our elephants here in Kenya. And our elephants are not very big. They are not big. But if they are brutal elephants, it is our elephants here in Kenya. Because they know they are elephants. But we have some other elephants which are very big in India. But the elephants are so useless. Yes, they are big, but they do not even know their strength. Wanachezewa tu na vijana, so big elephants, they think that their duty is to play football and to carry boys on their backs. So we need to be the real African elephant so that nobody should dare touch Pcea.